from The Signature, a division of Esquire Bank Studios.
This hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
Another arsonist fire set burning 10,000 acres and still referred to by media as a wildfire. Boy, that's funny, huh? See, that's what media does. It controls the narrative, and it takes you off of the principle that you're fighting. Here's my contention. I get a lot of people that call me, oh, did you see about the ballots in Michigan? Yabba dabba doo, and 15,000 votes, and they came late. Hey, listen. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the show. Here's the love and the respect that I have for what we're living through right now. It is the first time in history, since World War II exclusively, that we have been able to have somebody who wants what's best for the country in a very powerful position. He had never run for dog catcher. Never cultivated. You're used to the standards of, should we go with this senator, this congressman? Maybe we need a governor. My contention is all of it is fake. Elections have been stolen since LBJ in 1941, Box 13, all the way through 1960, where John F. Kennedy stole the election with the help of LBJ, who secured Texas as the crooked Daily Syndicate Mafia scum. Came up with 1,100 votes out of the graveyard. Well known. Now, what's the other argument? Who was Nixon? Well, Nixon was Prescott Bush's boy. He was handpicked too. And that's the game. Heads they win, tails we lose. The Fabians are the communists. The Fabians are the mafia. What do you want? I don't like that game. I never liked it. This is why when you talk about Illinois politics, you got to be out of your fracking mind not to see what this is. You're wasting your time with J.B. Pritzker or his body double, Darren Bailey. One and the same. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Where in the world is Darren Bailey? Aside from all of that, let's celebrate what we do have. For the first time in history, since George Washington, you have somebody who never ran for office as the President of the United States. And it's interesting to see how he's attacked. And he's attacked from both the establishment scum, known as the Bush Republicans. Bush Republicans are the worst. And if you can't see who George Bush Sr. is, you're too stupid to listen to the show. Or is it the modern-day Barack Obama shirts and skins, everybody in the steam bat, sissy mafia? Which one is it? Doesn't matter. The thing is, every once in a while, there's time to point out just how manipulated and contorted the best sport in America is. Politics. Completely rigged, and the system is frauded by the people who control the profits, not just the government, who doesn't do anything and controls the profits as they raise costs and try to be magnanimous. And we'll play J.B. Pritzker and the oil company. Listening to that fat trust fund slob, Governor Camel Toe, talk about business is nauseating. We'll save that for a couple segments. But the one thing you have to understand is sometimes, every once in a while, the camel nose is under the tent and you could see it. And look at those nostrils! Woof! And where does it stem? Right back to the topic no one talks about. After years, careers on the line, Epstein. Nobody wants to talk about Jeffrey the pedophile, scumbag, lowlife rat, pimp to politicians in the Republicans, not so many, and all the Democrats. And the one clip that you have to start out with whenever you talk about Jeffrey, where is the young girls and boys Epstein, is the one where he reveals just how systemic this problem is, tying himself directly to the Rockefeller.
I was interested. I was on the board of Rockefeller.
What?
So that starts Rockefeller. It's university formed by John D. Rockefeller to sort of give back to the community. It's east side of Manhattan, except it was old. It was sort of old-fashioned. They were talking about medicine.
See, and Nelson Rockefeller, one of his sycophants was Bill Barr's father, a real creepy scumbag. Creepy scumbag. Like little kids, too. Yeah, you did, scumbag. I'm talking to you, Bill Barr. And when you realize all of the profiteering, not just oil, the Rockefellers are the pharmaceutical companies. When the pharmaceutical companies buy their base product, who do they get it from? You guessed it, the foundation, which has been broken up into 5,500 different companies. And it all stems to political corruption.
And medicine by itself was, again, subject to the ideas of science. They were trying to use science to find cures for disease. And I said, no.
Were they? Were they, Jeff? And that's how you were trying to just facilitate dates to Bill Clinton 17 times in the White House. And, you know, a story broke out of New Mexico, which the other thing is, anybody talk to Tom Pritzker? Hey, Tom! What were you doing at Zorro Ranch? Do you have your own room? What'd you do there at Zorro Ranch? Funny thing about New Mexico, it's as scummy and corrupt as the south side of Chicago, as the north side of Chicago, as the west side of Chicago, as Chicago. It's a scum thiefdom, kleptocracy, just like you're used to. Same thing in Minnesota, same thing in Michigan, same thing in wherever there's a Democrat municipality and government, it's the same thing. But every once in a while, they appear to be shocked.
And right now at 6, subpoenas ignored, the federal government refusing to cooperate, all as our state tries to figure out who should be held accountable for the crimes committed at Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch in Santa Fe County.
Now, this is priceless. Squirrel. New Mexico, the state, is suing the Trump administration, the federal government, because they released the documents. How many times released the documents? Okay, we released them. And now New Mexico is suing. You know why, Squirrel? It really opens up Pandora's box of just how scummy every Democrat area is.
Today, our state's Epstein Truth Commission released its first report on the web this convicted sex offender was able to weave in New Mexico. From top officials to nonprofits to spas, Epstein's influence is hard to grasp. Blake Trolley joins us from Santa Fe now. And Blake, you sat in on the commission's meeting today. What all did you learn there?
Well, we saw a very frustrated committee as it pertains to that federal cooperation. The commission has sent out 20 subpoenas, 10 of which were fully cooperated with, 4 more subpoenas going out. But again, today, we heard from a very frustrated commission chair over the lack of cooperation between the federal government and the state on some of those files that they were seeking.
Now, here's the good news, Squirrel. The reason this is relevant, and I'm playing this, is because Jeffrey Epstein was the consultant that created the Clinton Foundation. Do you understand? The Leviathan, the vestibule of absolute bribery, open and notorious. Hillary, the Duchess of Chaffington, Bill, somebody bring me abroad, Clinton. This is what they are known for. And you know who was lockstep with Bill Clinton the whole time? I do.
For our entire country, El Congresista Bill Richardson. Is President Clinton going to carry Las Cruces? Did you all know that in this beautiful city of 70,000 people, 35,000 of you are here? Que viva el Presidente Clinton.
There we go. Now,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Bill Richardson, very interesting guy. Very interesting. Conduit of all kinds of corruption. But moreover, he delivered the American Hispanic vote for Clinton after Clinton had delivered a speech where he says, no more illegal aliens.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
Law and order and capitalism. And Bill Richard delivered. Now, Bill Richard delivered because New Mexico was a hub. Almost, not quite mean Arkansas, but right up there. See, Bill Richardson had mastered the daily Democrat short-in-the-pants mafia of pay-to-play schemes.
In Santa Fe, state senators waded into the pay-to-play scandals today, hearing from a whistleblower and trying to figure out ways to help the state recover millions and millions of dollars still being lost because of bum investments. News 13's Michael Herzenberg is live at the Roundhouse. Michael?
Dick, whistleblower Frank Foy is suing several financial firms, the former chief investment officer for the State Investment Council and the head of the Educational Retirement Board. Foy claims that pay-to-play corruption resulted in more than $243 million in losses for the state. He testified.
Keep in mind, this is in the 90s. This news story is from 19 years ago, but this goes back right to Bill Richardson, both as a congressman who delivered the policies that would be stolen, then as a governor. He protects the information. Very similar to Tim Walz, only Bill Richardson wasn't half as stupid looking. He wasn't half as stupid. He was equally as corrupt as every Democrat in every municipality.
Before the Senate Judiciary Committee today, talking about the 2007 law that allows him to sue on behalf of the state to recover lost money. Foy claims, though, that the governor's office is blocking his efforts to uncover the truth.
The Richardson administration is fighting us every step of the way. They have stonewalled us, they have stalled, they have prevaricated. They are spending huge amounts of taxpayer money to prevent us from getting money back for taxpayers, school teachers, and school children.
Trying to keep an open mind, we're going to try to bring as many entities in front of the committee as possible. My job today was to expose the enormity of the problem. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been invested and have been lost to the taxpayers of the state of New Mexico.
Some of that money went to some real close confidants, just like they do right now in Illinoisistan, in New Yorkistan, in New Jerseyistan, and everywhere else you're supposed to pretend that communism is on the uprise. Well, this is just another form of it in the form of corruption. It's fascinating to see how Bill Richardson, the most corrupt piece of dung outside of Cook County, how he did the exact same things we deal with.
The son of a close personal friend of former Governor Bill Richardson struck a plea deal this afternoon for failing to pay his taxes.
Mark Carrera was a central figure in the scandal involving allegations that New Mexico investment deals were steered to Richardson's political supporters.
And like a Pritzker, he didn't pay the taxes. Just like a Penny or a JB or a Tom, who at the same time this was going on, Zorro Ranch. Weren't you, Tom?
Let's get to News 13's Crystal Gutierrez. Crystal?
Jessica, Mark Carrera entered the no contest plea this afternoon in State District Court in Santa Fe. He'll get 3 months probation. He faced up to 5 years behind bars.
Guess who he went before? A Democrat scumbag judge. Like Ed Burke, fat-ass Ed Burke, like his wife. A big, powerful judge. See, the more things seem different, the more they remain the same.
It was on this wet road in Santa Fe near Marcy and Paseo de Peralta that police say former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson hit a car this morning, then drove off. Richardson told the Santa Fe New Mexican it was an honest mistake.
Well, it was just, I tapped him, and I tapped the car. I don't even remember what car it was. And then I kept going. I looked around to see if the car had stopped. I didn't see anything.
But there's two sides to every story. In a newly released police report, a woman tells officers she was stopped at the intersection when a yellow Jeep similar to this one hit her twice from behind. The second time, she says, was hard enough to push her into the intersection.
Bill Richards was drunk with an underage broad or guy or who knows what. Paul Pelosi can make two hammers think at the same time. Sick bastard always was. May he burn in hell. However, when push came to shove, they dusted off all the scumbags and they praised him.
The funeral mass for former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson was held today in Santa Fe. Richardson died earlier this month at the age of 75. Among the hundreds of attendees was former President Bill Clinton. Richardson served as U.S. Energy Secretary and UN Ambassador under his administration.
Oh, did I leave that out? Energy Secretary. Energy Secretary.
I was interested. I was on the board of Rockefeller. So that starts, Rockefeller University formed by John D. Rockefeller to sort of give back to the community.
Yeah. Give back like a Pritzker? Give back like what? Like a Clinton? All a ruse.
Does Bill Clinton, does he not forgive?
Well, he's still mad at me. You know, he's had differences with some of his former staffers, but well, so far he hasn't forgiven me, I'll be honest. I still have a lot of affection for him. You know, I served under him. He was good to me. I was good to him. I served him well. But, you know, in politics, Larry, you know, you sometimes have these breaches and it takes time to heal. This one has been unusually long, but if he wishes to keep it separate and in a breach, so be it.
He endorsed Obama, and he made a fracking fortune. Then Hillary came back on board, and the Clinton Foundation was used as a vestibule of corruption. The whole time, Bill Richardson laughing the way to the bank till he burned in hell.
Good evening, New Mexico. Every day, more unravels from the release of the latest Jeffrey Epstein files. And with each revelation comes more questions involving New Mexico.
More specifically, former Governor Bill Richardson. Just this week, we shared that Richardson's name was brought up multiple times in those files, emails detailing his long friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. And tonight, we're looking at whether that connection will bring consequences here. For example, we've confirmed that a building at UNM Hospital is no longer named after former Governor Richardson and his wife Barbara. Here's video of that building back in 2013.
Here's the good news. Now the Trump administration is investigating all of this. I wonder how long before he gets to the family also linked to all of the scandal.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is issuing an ultimatum to the leaders of America's major oil companies. The governor accused them of profiteering from supply constraints caused.
Profiteering? You mean like Illinois' gas tax? 312-642-5600.
What if everything you've been told about government, health care, poverty, energy, and even science is a carefully constructed lie? In Shaun Thompson's new book, What If It's All a Lie? Shaun Thompson dismantles the myths at the core